Hello. Hi. Hello, my loves. How are you guys this beautiful evening? As I was preparing my lecture for class, I thought about some things that I thought would be very pertinent to share. One of them is the difference between overweight versus obesity. Um, one of the biggest things that one of the biggest things that I have had the biggest challenge with is in people understanding. Hey, Alicia, people understanding, um, different aspects of even my own health journey. People often look at me, and if they don't know my story, the first thing they say is, "Oh, if you're supposed to be alkaline, why ain't you a size 2?" And I laugh at people when they say that because clearly they don't understand or have an understanding of the difference between someone being overweight versus someone being obese. So I wanted to come on and talk for a minute about that because I think it's very important. We see people that when they convert over to the lifestyle, they drop a massive amount of weight. They drop a massive amount of weight really fast and they go from being bigger or larger to really skinny, and it's an amazing story and everybody's like, "Oh, this is amazing." But then we have other people. We have another demographic that converts over to the lifestyle and they may be very large and they just get a little smaller, and then it seems like they just are in a space. That's what happened with me. So when I converted over to lifestyle in 2014 is when I started my journey. Um, I started dropping weight really well. I was very excited about it. So 2015 was an amazing year for me because I was losing weight. I was losing maybe about 10 or 15 pounds a month, which is unheard of with me. And I was losing and I did very well. I ended up dropping um, down about 100 pounds. Okay. Now that would be an amazing story in the end of it if I was about 250, I was well morbidly obese. I was in the fours, almost in the fours. I think I was just a little under 400 pounds when I weighed myself. I probably was much bigger than that, but I wouldn't even get on a scale until a certain level. So by the time I got on the scale, I was a little under 400 pounds. And so me dropping 100 pounds, it only put me at like a little under 300. So I was almost 300 pounds when I dropped that 100 pounds. And what happened when I dropped the 100 pounds is the weight loss severely slowed down. So I had a really good year 2015, summer 2016, and then the weight stagnated. Okay. And I had to go on a series of water fasts to lose 5 pounds here and 5 pounds there. So I ended up over the next couple years losing about 140 pounds total. And the weight just stopped moving, period. Wouldn't move at all. I spent the whole year with the weight just in one place. I was eating alkaline. I'm still eating alkaline to this day. And so, of course, there were people, because people are gonna be people. Um, and they're all skinny people. It's always funny. People that can't understand where you're at, they're the ones that always talk the most. But it was always skinny people. "Oh, well, you ain't really eating alkaline. You ain't in this lifestyle. You faking it." And it really was a very hard journey for me because I, I only had a certain amount of understanding myself at that time, because there's so many stigmas and people, and we don't really get taught these things with regular the modern medicine and education and health and things of that nature. They don't teach us these things. There is a very, 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 very big difference between somebody that is overweight versus someone that is morbidly obese. Hey, Daniel. When you get past the threshold of being overweight and you go into morbid obesity, it is now considered a chronic condition. And I'll explain why in a minute. Let me just finish my journey. And so, about a year ago, I had made a decision with the information and knowledge that I had on being overweight and morbidly obese, I went on this journey to learn why is it my body is just not losing weight the way I want it to. I don't subscribe to genetics for any chronic condition, so I'm not going to attribute genetics to being overweight. So I did find out so many things in this journey about when you get over the threshold of being overweight, you go into morbid obesity. You not only trigger certain things in your bodies, but you throw off your hormones. You actually go into fat storage mode. Your body goes into a level of what they call nutritional starvation. So your body stores more fat. You have emotional things that might be happening where you are resistant to losing weight. And so there is a lot going on in your body once you get to a point where you're morbidly obese. Okay. And so what ends up happening in that instance is you go to a chronic condition. You go to your chronic condition. And so it's not about you just changing your diet at this point. Okay? It's not about that anymore. It's about you really have to do a lot of different measures. And so I wanted to talk today, what is overweight? Overweight is a person that is typically has a certain frame, okay, frame size, and they may be 50 pounds overweight, 40 pounds, 30 pounds, but they have an excess amount of fat storage other than what their body is normally designed for, okay? And those are the type of people where when you have the change in lifestyle, the change in eating, the weight, the metabolism just kicks right in, drops off the weight, and you keep it moving, okay? Then we have what we call morbid obese people who has packed on so much weight that the fat itself is emitting hormones. Okay. When your fat itself starts emitting certain hormones, you go on a cascade of weight packing. Okay. You start having severe hormonal imbalances. You have all these side comorbidity conditions that exacerbate or add on to the problem. And so it is not as simple as you just changing your diet, even though changing your diet is important. Now, I do not misquote me. You have to change your diet. Okay, and this alkaline diet is ideal for someone who is morbidly obese. But there are other mitigating factors that you have to put into play. Okay, so at this point, if you are morbidly obese and your BMI has to hit about maybe 35 to 40 or greater. Okay, that's when you start going into what they call morbid obesity. And when you go to that point, you start getting to a point where you need to not only change your diet, you have to do exercise physiology, and you are going to have to do massive amounts of detoxification. Okay? So it is of the utmost importance at this point. If you are morbidly obese, you need help. You need help. And I didn't realize at the time, and I realize now, how important it is to have a network for people that are morbidly obese, because unfortunately, going into these groups, everybody tells you the same thing. Oh, you just eat off the nutritional guide, you'll be fine. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. Not for a morbidly obese person, it's not the truth. Because I listened and subscribed to that for years and it didn't work. I was not fine. I was not fine until I went on a complete herbal detoxification regimen that's structured to balancing hormones in my body to help to reset my metabolism. When you get to the level of morbid obesity, you are almost at a point where your metabolism is not even functioning. Okay? Please understand this. Your thyroid, your adrenal glands, your thalamus, all of those adrenal or endocrine organs, they're not functioning the way they're supposed to be functioning. And you have to get to a point, number one, where you stop the weight gain. You have to get your body to the point where it stops the weight packing. Okay? Hey, Diane. That's number one. Number two, once you get your body to the point where it stops weight packing, then you have to stabilize or balance your hormones. Okay? And then you go to on the other end where you're declining and start to lose weight. This is not an easy process, and it's not overnight. In all seriousness, I've been on this journey since 2014. 2014. I am finally down. My BMI is finally down in the 30s. Okay. My goal BMI is a 25, because I want to get my body fat down really low. And I am finally in the 30s. I'm not even going to tell you guys on here what my BMI was when I started, because that's embarrassing. I know it's supposed to be a testimony, but it was just like, it was so ridiculous. It was so high. And so my BMI is going down now, and it's in the 30s and it's going down. So I am closest to my goal weight than I've ever been. I actually weigh less now than I did at 18. I'm in a smaller size than I was when I was 21 years old. And it's amazing. It's a beautiful process. And it's exciting. But I didn't get here overnight. It takes years sometimes for you to be able to get rid of the massive amount of body fat and the comorbid conditions that you've opened up yourself to from having this problem. And yes, the problem does start from your eating habits, but it doesn't end there. Okay? And so I wanted to just come on here and share this information with you guys tonight. And I really want to honestly start a support group for people that are morbidly obese, a safe space where we are not judged or looked down upon or, disrespected in some instances, where we can actually encourage and love on one another and help each other. Because a lot of us, quite frankly, and I include myself, because, even though I'm finally on the decline in the weight, I'm not exempt. I have to acknowledge myself every single day, because I was a emotional binge eater, and I ate constantly at one point in my life. And and all of these emotions, all of this binge eating, all of this self-abuse that we do, we need the support of each other, in all seriousness. And so I'm really starting to get more into creating safe spaces for people. Yeah, I'm creating safe spaces for people to be themselves and be encouraged for change. I think it's very important a lot of times that we get to a point in our whole journeys where we feel safe enough to be able to open up to other people and allow other people to input in our lives and help us. Many of us, I don't know anybody that wants to be overweight or obese. And one of the things that kind of is a little frustrating at times, when people that are thinner, they act as if we purposely are intentionally wanting ourselves to be fat. And that's not the case. And the funny thing is, a lot of skinny people have worse eating habits than obese people. They just got the luck of the draw and didn't shut down their metabolism, and we did. So, I have to say this a lot of times, because I find that people a lot of times come from a judgy place. And I'm not going to be funny here. I'm being serious when I say they come from a judgy place, and they want to label and disrespect someone because that person is not like them. And we're not doing that anymore. We are not going to be in self-condemnation. What we are going to do is we're going to push forward so that we can change our lifestyles and be healthy. We can be healthy on the inside and the outside, and develop into the people that God created us to be, which are loving, kind, generous people that are supportive of each other. And I really feel like we as a people can gather together and support each other. It makes no sense to me why It makes no sense to me in the world why we have so many people on this social media, this world wide web, and we have to suffer things by ourselves. We don't. We don't at all. This healing journey, we have other people on this social media that can help us. And even in our whole weight loss and morbidly obese journey of getting free from that stuff, we have help. And so I just wanted to put it out there that I'm really prayerful about starting some type of group to help, as a support group for people that are morbidly obese, and so that we can help each other. It's a daily struggle for me, and I know it is for some of you. Some of you I talk to quite often, and you have been expressing how much you really want to be thinner, and I want to get you out of this self-condemnation. Love who you are, but want a better and healthier version of who you are. That's what's important. I don't do any of this. I work out at the gym with a personal trainer 3 times a week. I eat alkaline. I do all this for my health, not so that people can look at me and say, "Oh, you got a nice body." I don't care about what other people think about me. And I'm going to be honest with you. It took me a long time to get there because I used to care about what other people thought, and thank God I've been free from that. I thank God that I got free from the opinions of other people, and I'm just going to put that out there. But many of you are still in that condemnation, and it's time to let it go. And let's go into our healthy place. We have a lot of things that we need to get rid of, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and it's just time. 2020 is coming around the corner, and I just think that it's time for us to work on leaving some things in 2019. Thank you so much, Daniel. I really appreciate and I thank God for you too. you know um and it's some things that we need to wrap up and leave in 2019 and go into 2020 with our power, dominating, showing forth our health, being at the best, the pinnacles of our health. Who says that you have to be 20 years old to be at the pinnacle of your health? I am 43 years old, and I am in better health today than I was when I was 20. And my declaration is, the older I get, the healthier I'm going to get. In all seriousness, I'm not getting sicker, I'm getting healthier. And that whole statement when people say, I'm living my best life. I don't think most people that say that mean it. But I am going to squeeze every single inch of life I can out of this life. Because I spent many years being so morbidly obese, being afraid to be around people, afraid people laughing at me, afraid of people talking about me. And those days are done. And I'm living my best life. I went to Turks and Caicos about a week ago, and I put on swimsuits in public for the first time ever. I would have never put on a swimsuit and been in public before. This is about loving me. This is about my personal journey, and this is about me helping other people that I know are going on similar journeys. And so I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. I also wanted to talk to you guys really quick. The numbers are out for the Ghana trip. So if you want to go to Ghana, we're going next September. Okay, if you really are one of those people, you always wanted to go to Africa, you always wanted to do tours to look at where they held the slaves at, look at all the different slave ports, go around, go climbing mountains, learning about the different tribes in Ghana, meeting some of the tribes. We're gonna do it all, guys. And so if you're interested in going to Ghana, we only have like 3 spaces left. But I wanted to put it out there. for you guys. If you're interested in going to Ghana, let me know ASAP, because I have to book the airfare and the hotel with the exact numbers this week. And so I'm trying to get everybody together. We got an amazing deal. This is going to be a really good trip. So if you're interested, just let me know. Just let me know. And I can, give you the numbers and see if it's something you want to do. I think a lot of you on here, it is time for you to travel. It really do. And I know traveling ain't cheap. I know that, but I'm going to tell you something. It's life changing. Are you going to keep spending your whole life in a hole, in a cubby hole, afraid to live? Or are you going to finally go after all the things that you desire in this life? Good health, awesome friendships, traveling, seeing the world, meeting people, interacting with people, loving people, people loving you back. It is time for us to get this life that we have. Life is so short. And I had to really realize this, because there were so many people that I saw pass away in 2019. And it made me get to a level where I said, life is too darn short for me to waste any more of it. It's too short, people. We have so many things coming against us on a daily basis. Stop wasting your life on pointless ventures. Stop wasting your life on regrets and wishes, and I wish I could have did this, I should have did this, I could have did this. No, it's time. It's time. It's time for you to finally go after that health that you desire. It's time for you to go to those destinations you always dreamed of. Who doesn't dream of traveling? Come on. Who doesn't want to go to different places and see things? Who doesn't dream of relocating to a new city or staying somewhere exotic for a minute and meeting new friends? What'd you say? I know I saw a lot of my to leave it too early. It gave me some anxiety. Yes, I saw a lot of people die this year. A lot. So, it really put things in perspective for me. It did. And not everybody is dying from sickness and disease. I saw a lot of accidental deaths this year, in all seriousness. So I just say that to say that, guys, we only have a blink of an eye on this earth, whether we want to believe it or not. And we are in charge of whether we leave this earth making an impact, or whether we gonna leave this earth with like everybody like, who was that? And I'm not being funny, I'm being serious. What we do with this little time that we're allotted is what's important. That's what's important. How many people are you impacting, helping, blessing, lifting up, encouraging, motivating? That's what's important. You don't have to be you don't have to be everybody's cheerleader, but whatever your circle is or wherever your reach is, you should be reaching somebody. Okay? Life is more than just about you. You were put here to touch other people. And how are you going to help other people if you aren't yourself fulfilling your dreams and goals? Think about that. Think about how much greater your life would be if you went after that health that you've been talking about you wanted forever. If you finally transitioned over to that vegan lifestyle that you say you want. If you finally got rid of that sickness and disease that has been plaguing you for 15 years. How much better will your life be if you finally started traveling to those destinations you always dreamed of? If you finally left that job and started that business you always dreamed of? How much more amazing would your life be? We can't live in fear. Okay? We can't live in fear. We don't have enough time on this planet to live in fear. The word says God has not given us a spirit of fear, but he's given us a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. I did something in 2019 that I always said I probably was never going to do. I had a severe fear of airplanes. Severe. I used to have a severe fear of heights, and airplanes was included in that. In the month of October, I got on 6 airplanes in the month of October. That was the first month I have ever been on an airplane. And I said I was going to make sure that I never had this fear again. In all seriousness. And I ain't saying it was easy, because them first couple of airplanes, I was hyperventilating, baby. I was having some issues. But I'm telling you, I got on there and started praying. I started praying and praying and praying. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. I started praying. And I got that Bible out. I was on that plane praying and quoting scripture. And the Lord lifted it. It was like that. I'm serious. After the second plane ride, let's see. Yep, after the second plane ride, once I got on the third plane, I started having some anxiety, and I started praying. And in that, I started quoting scripture, because I said, no, this is not going to hold me anymore. I started quoting that scripture, and it lifted off of me. And I didn't have no more issues after that. And the most beautiful thing, guys, on all of those plane rides, I got to minister to somebody. It was so beautiful. I was ministering to people on the plane, talking about the love of God, sharing the word of God with people on the plane. I met so many people on the plane and on this trip, because the word of God says if you really seriously you want friends, you make yourself friendly. And so I just make myself friendly to people. I talk to people. I don't care. I talk to people, because you never know who is going to bless your life. And so, I don't care if it's just, hey, how you doing, or where you going, or how, where you coming from. I'm going to do something. I carried my Bible the first few trips. I not look out the windows, not taking it. Yes, girl, I was able to, on the last couple planes, I was looking out the window. I was like, look at this. This is amazing. But that window the first time, I was like, close that window. So yes, I agree. But looking out the window, looking out there is fascinating. It's beautiful, especially going over the water. It is beautiful. I never thought I would, in my life, would see something that beautiful. That was the most beautiful view ever. But I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys tonight, and just let you guys know that it's time. It's time for us to stop living in our fears and to actually push forth and get what we want out of this life. In all seriousness. All seriousness. And so if you are interested in going to Ghana, let me know. Okay? So that we can get you all the information you need. And other than that, I'm going to be doing some other trips, because I really feel it's important. I feel travel is important. Being able to see what the other side is doing, and for us, so we can go vibe, see each other in person. We don't always have to just be seeing each other on the internet. We can see each other in person, vibe in person. I love hanging out with people, so everybody that's in Michigan already knows that I will meet up with somebody in a heartbeat, and the first thing I'm gonna do is hug you. Hey, because I'm just like that. I love being around people. I love people's vibes. I love their energy. And I'm just one of those people. I love people, positive vibe people. I love it, and I love on people. And so anybody in Michigan, I already know, let's hook up. Let's go here. Let's do that. In a heartbeat. And so I just want more of that from people that are not in Michigan. And so I just decided to start creating these trips so we can start linking up and vibing, and just chilling and talking and, just having experiences together. Shoot, you know, one of the things I'm about to do now is I'm about to learn how to swim because I had a fear of water too. And so I'm going to learn how to swim because I am determined on the next trip to the Caribbean, I am going to go snorkeling. And you have to know how to swim to do that. So I am determined. I said, I'm going to learn how to swim just so I can go snorkeling and get over this fear of water. Because no, I am not being held back by any fear anymore. And that is for real. And so this is I wanted to put this on the camera. I hope this shows up. This was the shirts that were made. Let me see if this other way. This was the shirts that were made for the trip. I think these are the cutest shirts ever. The woman that did these shirts, she really outdid herself. And I think these shirts are so cute. And so, I just keep watching it and putting it on because I'm like, I love this shirt so much. It just reminds me of some good memories in Turks and Caicos. I miss the ladies that I went with to Turks and Caicos. When I tell you, I was around some amazing souls in Turks and Caicos. I had a ball with them women. Places. I don't know why I was emotionally purging in the Caribbean, but I just thank God that the women that were with me were just they were just so supportive and loving. And I just had such a cleansing opportunity in Turks and Caicos. I had a cleansing, an emotional cleansing, being at the beach, cleansing me out. And I loved it. I loved it, and I love the good vibes. And so, with that being said, that's on my bucket list. I can't swim either. Yes, so I'm gonna. I got my bucket list going, so I checked off that airplane, and so we gonna do some swimming. Vicky, are you in Michigan? We can go to swimming lessons together. Oh goodness. Cause I'm about to do it. I'm about to contact the recreation center and see who's doing swim lessons. The other thing I'm doing is skating. I was always scared of skating. I was scared of everything, wasn't I? So that's another thing I'm learning. I want to learn how to skate. Uh, I got such a long bucket list, but I just refuse. I refuse to live in fears anymore. So everything that I've been scared of, I'm making myself get over. Yes. So I will be. Oh, you in Kentucky? You too far. I come down to Kentucky every now and again. Uh, um, Lexington. Yep. I come down there every now and again. I was supposed to come down there last month and didn't go. So, you said Kentucky. I was hoping you say you was in Michigan. Oh goodness. So I hope to see some of you guys on my next retreat. I'm getting the quotes together now. The next retreat is going to be next year. I always plan a year in advance. Next year, and it's going to be either in November or December. Okay, so we'll have a year to pay on it. And other than that, I'm hoping I can get, you guys to come out and vibe with me. We are going to be somewhere where we can chillax, but we're going to be somewhere where we can be doing some things too and enjoying each other's company. So, with that being said and done, yes, Vicky, I feel you. I feel you, sister. So with that said and done, now I don't want none of this drama out of y'all in 2020. It's time for us to get it in. I'm serious. It's time for us to get it in. We are the state of this world. This world is tripping. So we need to enjoy life. Okay. Woo. We need to enjoy as much life as we can. Okay. So I'm going to check on out. You guys, look out for the obesity support group. I'm planning on starting it maybe in about a week. Okay. And I will let anybody know that wants to get involved with that, because I really would love to have some people that are, assisting in that. I think that would be super awesome. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. You don't understand how much you bless my life. And so I thank you, and I'm appreciative of every single one of you and everything that you contribute to my life. And I never want anyone to think I don't appreciate them, because I do. And so you guys have a blessed and awesome night. And I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.